Hi everyone, welcome back to the Playwright and Pytest series. In the last video, we installed Playwright and Pytest and wrote our first login test. Today, we are going to take it a step further. We'll create reusable login fixture, manage credentials securely, and start interacting with the product page. You might be wondering, what is a fixture? A fixture in Pytest is a reusable piece of code that sets up something we need for our test. For example, logging into a website. Instead of writing login step in every test, we put them in a fixture, and then any test that need a login page can simply use this fixture. This makes our test cleaner, shorter, and easier to maintain. Another thing you noticed that in our first lesson, we put the credential hard-coded in our test, which is risky and not reusable. Instead, we store them in a separate environment file and load them as an environment variable. This way, we keep the credentials secure and can easily switch between test accounts or environments without changing our code. And remember, we do not commit this environment file to GitHub. First of all, I'll create an environment file which is called .env in the root folder, and then I'll add the source demo login credential in it. Now we need a package to manage the environment variable. For that, we open the requirement file, add another package which is python-dotenv, and the version is 1.0.1. Save the file and go to the terminal and install it. So you can see it's successfully installed. I'm now creating a new file called conftest.py for all our custom fixture. Let's import a few packages. So first of all, import Pytest because we are writing a fixture. Then import OS so we can read environment variable. So this will let us load variable from our environment file. Now call the function load underscore dot env. So it will load the value from our environment file into the system environment so Python can use them. Next, I'll grab our username and password. For that, we write username equals os dot get environment and then our environment variable. for the username. And password. So these values come from the environment file instead of being hard-coded in the test. So this makes our test safer and more flexible. Now let's define the login fixture. For that we write @pytest.fixture. So now any test that takes the login as a parameter will automatically run the setup code first. Now let's copy our code from the login page. And then we return page. Okay, so now we have to replace our username here with this variable. So now this is our fixture for login. What it does is it launches the browser, goes to the login page, enters the username and password from our environment file, and logs in successfully. At the end, it returns the page object, which is now already on the inventory page. This means that whenever we use this fixture in our test, we don't have to repeat the login step. Our test will start directly from the inventory page and we can continue testing from there. Okay, now we will create a new test where we click on an item to add to cart and verify the item on the cart. So I'm creating a new test called test underscore product.py. So let's create it in the test directory. So let's call our test name as test underscore add to card. And for the argument, we'll take the login fixture here. Page equal login. We are assigning a written object into a local variable page so we can continue using it. Okay, now check the inventory page. So we can grab the locator for our product. So let's take the backpack. Okay, I'm taking the data test. Let's copy it and go to your test. and page dot click. Now we have to assert that the card we have. Let's click on it. Okay, now you can see, so it shows the badge 1. So we have to assert that. So let's take the locator for that. So let's take the class this time. Copy. So for defining the class, we use dot. Like we use hash for the ID, here we use dot for the class. So, okay, now save this locator in a variable called badge. So we can assert on that. So let's assert badge dot inner text equal 1. So the inner text is it's what is the visible text to the real user. So we are asserting that if it is 1, then the test will pass. So let's save it and run. So you can see all our tests passed, and which mean our login fixture and the test setup are working correctly. Okay, let's write another test to see if product titles are visible on inventory page. So we are now going to check if product titles are visible on inventory page. So let's check the locator for our products. Okay, let's grab the one here, inventory item name. Let's copy it. And so you can see we have now here 6 products. So let's see if it matches with all 6. For that, just Control F and paste your locator here. So here you can see it shows the count 1 of 6. So, and you can also confirm using this arrow. So it will just go through all the items to confirm that if it's the right locator for our test. Okay, so from here we can also confirm the uniqueness of our elements when we want to interact with some particular item. So now let's go to the test and paste your locator here. Okay, let's save it in a variable called titles. And let's assert So we are asserting if it's more than 0. If it is, then the test will pass. Let's save it and run it. So all our tests passed. That's it for today's lesson. We learned how to secure our login credentials with environment variable, created a reusable login fixture, and wrote a test to verify the product page. In the next video, we will work with drop-downs and filters. We will automate the sorting option on the product page and write reusable check to make sure the products are displayed in the right order. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next